Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chris Cooper, known as the Channel Guy Trader, and I'm reporting to you live from Wall Street Trading's Miami office down in sunny South Florida. Today's date is Monday, May the 13th, 2013, and here is today's After the Bell Market Summary brought to you by WallStreetTrading.com. Let's go ahead and take a look to see how the market closed today across the board on this very interesting day we had today. The Dow Jones closed down 26.81, close to 27 points. The Nasdaq closed down close to two and a quarter. Nasdaq was up close to two and a quarter, and the S&P 500 was pretty much flat, up 0.07. If we take a look at the breadth today, we had a little bit of mixed action in the breadth though. We had 3,699 issues declining on the NYSE, NASDAQ, and the AMEX. We had 2,404 issues advancing on the NYSE, NASDAQ, and the AMEX. Therefore, breadth was in favor of the bulls today, pretty much mixed, like I said. If I take a look at my little sector analysis here, you can see there was some buying going on in the financials, in the healthcare sector a little bit, but basic materials were weak today. Technology was a little bit weak today. We also had some weakness in the. We also had some weakness going on in the what sector is this right here? We also had some in the services sector. Utilities were down today, industrial, so pretty much a mixed board here. So let's take a look at the market, and we'll take a look at a couple of stocks as well. You can see the SPY closed up for the session by 13 cents, closing at 163.54. We still remain above these key moving averages. That gap down that we had got bought up, and we actually made new highs for the year, new 52-week highs for the year. And just got to stick with this trend. Every time we get that little morning selling pressure that comes in the first hour of the day and you try to get short, the dip buyers come in and buy it right back up. And, we're just looking for some type of pullback action, but that's not happening. It looks like every 0.5% pullback and the market's getting bought up. So stick with the trend. If you're going to get short, make sure you manage your risk accordingly, I could say, and just keep on, just trying to get in on the long side when you see a nice clean pattern. And if you see a short pattern, try to get short, if you want. At the same time, what's been happening is that every dip buy that we have, every dip that we get down in the market, they've been buying it up. So SPY levels you want to watch, looks like it's going to be this 164 area. Again, we're still at the top of this little, in the middle of this little channel right here. We could move all the way up to this high right here, which equals like about 165.75. All right. However, you want to make sure you watch this little steep uptrend channel that we have going on here. Now, if you take a look at real quick here, for the downside, if we move to the downside, you want to watch this 162.5 area. Now, if we take a look at the action on the triple Qs are continuing their move higher, leading the market higher. The NASDAQ is showing relative strength here to the other indices. It has been that way for the past week or so. And again, this one's not as much steep as the SPY or the S&P, I should say, and this one's kind of just moving a little bit higher at a little slight angle, but it's not as steep as the S&P here. But on this one as well, keep an eye on the short-term moving averages we got right here, the 5 and the 8 EMA. You can use that as a gauge. If we were to pull back a bit, you want to watch this key 72.50 level here. All right, and if we continue moving higher, again, like I discussed in the weekend review video, the next resistance level on the triple Qs it's not until like around 75.04, which comes from the high that we made back in 2000, in December 2000. So that's the next target. Looks like we're probably just going to cruise on up there. If you take a look at the IWM as well made new 52-week highs along with the Qs, which I forgot to mention that the Qs made new 52-week highs as well. And IWM's moving higher here above the key short-term moving averages. A little dodgy action today, but that does not mean anything until we get some breakdowns and some confirmations. Again, a lot of people are looking for some type of pullback action so they can get involved in this market at lower prices, but we're just not getting that. We're seeing that demand for equities to continue. Now, if you take a look at the dollar futures here, since we've been watching these currencies to get a little look at this currency action, the dollar futures gapped up today, had a higher close today. Didn't really get any breakout action, but we definitely were watching this dollar to see what happens if we break out over these 83.66 fives, 83.67s or so. You take a look at the euro. The euro was a little bit weak today, going into from the overnight session going into the open, but really nothing happened. Now we could start getting some action here because if we start holding below this 130 level that we've been trading in for about let's see, 5 weeks or so now, we could start making our move back down towards these 128s. I'm not sure if they have any key meetings or anything coming out of the European countries anytime soon. I have to take a look into that, but keep an eye on the euro. The euro looks like it wants to start getting some rollover action there, so we've definitely been watching that on an intraday basis a little bit more a little bit more closer than we normally do. Um, let's see what else. What else do I want to talk about with you guys? Let's go ahead and take a look at the volatility index. The VIX was up this morning. Then it closed. I'm sorry, the VIX was gapping down a bit, try to spike up, but then it sold off right back down. The VIX starts holding below this key 1250 level. Look for it to make its way down towards 12. Then we have some gap fill action all the way down here towards 1152. You can see the VIX has not been able to catch any type of bid at all with this action that we've been getting because the markets continues to float higher. And it would be interesting if we saw that the market on the that the VIX was holding a bid and maybe moving sideways to higher while the market was moving up. But we're really not seeing that. We were seeing that a little bit last week here, but we're just really more or less just trading in the range between 13.5 and this 1250 level. So just keep an eye on that. So let's go ahead and talk about some key stocks now, starting off with Apple, because I know you guys want to hear what Apple has to do or what it did today. And Apple pretty much did nothing. We're talking about Apple having a $6.40 range, pulling back slightly off these highs, still above these key short-term moving averages, sitting right on top of the 8 EMA. Really don't see nothing there until it gets a nice little pullback to get involved in. I would not be messing with Apple. One stock that I do think has potential in the technology big cap type of action would be Amazon. Amazon's trading this nice little downward slanted bullish channel a bit here, and it's actually holding above the 50% level of that channel, which is good. So the bulls are kind of in control here now in this little channel. We could push up towards 270 and then we could break out. All right, so keep an eye on Amazon. This would be a go-to stock if the market was to continue moving higher and this thing was to kind of catch a little bit more volume and show that it was showing some strength intraday. This would be a go-to stock that I'd be interested in. Amazon, some of the Chinese stocks that had been moving pulled back a bit today, except for Sohu. We were talking about Sohu in the room this morning, and this thing just freaking flew up. Pretty nice. There's definitely a buyer in this thing here. This thing looks like it's has a nice little momentum trend going on in the name. Look how the moving averages are curving up. The volume's picking up, so take a look at the Sohu. Cena, one of the ones that were pretty strong. Actually, this is not the strong one right here. This one actually gapped up on some news, like 2 weeks back. I forgot exactly what the news was, and it's been grinding kind of higher here. But Baidu has been showing some nice strength as well. I had a little bit of a weakness today, as it should, because it has been rallying all the way from 84 to a high of 95 in a matter of 6 sessions or so. So it's definitely smart that they had some profit taking going on in this name today. But if we hold these 96 of 62s and consolidate sideways for a bit, you could probably expect this thing to try to make a move high. If we go back below 96.62 and start holding below that level, you could probably look for it to probably pull back in about 50% of this move, or maybe 38.2 or something. We'll see. Just keep those stocks on watch because those stocks have some nice momentum in them. You take a look at Home Depot. Actually, call us Home Depot out for long as well in the chat room. Some traders were able to catch that, but this one's trading higher, trading off of the low strength LOW, which broke out of a nice little symmetrical triangle right here, and right now it's kind of flagging into a rising, fast-moving average here, the 5. So you want to make sure you keep these two stocks on your radar. Retail sales numbers came in better than expected. The market had a little pop-up pre-market on that. Then they faded the market a bit, and they rallied it right back up. So definitely keep an eye on some of these retail stocks. All right, you can take a look at Lulu. Lulu showed some weakness today, but the chart is breaking out of this consolidation right here. So it may want to pull back and then go, or it may want to consolidate up here a bit before it tries to build some momentum to break out. But keep Lulu on your radar. All right. PFE, Pfizer had a nice move today. I'm not quite sure what the move what this was all about. But Pfizer had a nice little move today, up 2.25% for the healthcare sectors. GILD had a nice little move up today as well. This one was up $1.59, and it's actually this one was a pretty good buy over this 53.25 area. We actually talked about this one as well pre-market before the market opened, but never followed up with it. But just some stocks to watch. Again, I really don't see much action out there. It's really kind of hard. It's really hard to try to buy equities up here just with the fact we are up so much. And when those equities run up and they start pulling back for that dip buy, it's kind of hard to buy that dip because you don't know if it's going to hold this time. But again, just got to manage your risk, take the trades. If you see a nice low risk trade, try to get involved. If you don't see what you like, then just sit out and wait for the market to give you a better entry or a better look at what you're trying to do there. Aside from that, have a great day. I'll catch you guys bright and early in the chat room tomorrow morning. If I have anything else that needs to be posted, I want to show you guys, I'll post it on the Facebook page at Wall Street Trading. Have a great night. Cheers.